What is up, guys? The new Bonnie here, and today I'm going to be discussing with you one of the best television shows that I have ever watched. I'm talking, of course, about DC's Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol was a comic that started back in My Greatest Adventure. The first issue was in 1955, and it went on for about 80 different issues. It features a gang of sort of misfits, I want to say. People that went from the tippy top and just lost everything, were completely broken, and were reunited under one man, Dr. Niles Calder, otherwise known as the Chief. He's a man in a wheelchair, doesn't have any powers of his own. He's pretty smart, but he's also very manipulative. But this show is easily one of the greatest things I've ever seen, and I'm not even a big fan of DC. The only thing I've ever liked from them was probably the Titans and the Watchmen series, both very fantastic. Look them up after this as well. But what makes this show so great is that it's not a superhero show or movie that focuses on the powers. The powers are not what makes this show super. It's the relationship between the characters that we get to see develop. It's the realism and these broken paths and horrible places that these people have come from. It's a show that takes it shows you what real money and power and fame will do when they go to your head, and then as soon as you lose everything, you see the suffering that these people have to deal with, and you sympathize with them. And I haven't sympathized with a character so much since Glenn in The Walking Dead. This show captures it so well, and I think that the best performance that I've ever seen out of Brandon Fraser is in this show. I think he has only been in The Mummy since then, but he has a very unique role as Robot Man, who is Cliff Steele in the show, and that's as he is basically a brain in a jar. He was, well, yes, I guess I should say spoiler alerts before this even begins. Oh well, deal with it now. But he was in a horrible car accident, kind of caused it by himself, ended up getting his wife killed and his daughter orphaned, but he ended up being a brain in a robot. And so without facial expressions and without certain body language, he has the role of being the most mentally and emotionally tormented character, but he's also the comedic relief that we need in the show. And that's probably one of the reasons I like it, is because it's so real and it shows every tedious bit. So the characters that we see in the show, the original Doom Patrol consisted of the Chief, Cliff Steele, Robot Man, Negative Man, who is the late Air Force Captain Larry Trainer, and Rita Farr, who is the original Elastigirl, not from The Incredibles. But in this show, we also get adaptations from Crazy Jane, who has 64 split personalities, each with its own unique and awesome superpower. And we also get to see Cyborg, played by Jovian Wade. It's a bit more under budget, obvious than obviously from the Justice League movie. But seriously, that movie was garbage. I don't care what you at me with in the comments. I thought it was terrible. But the show goes on. It's only had one season so far. We're set for another season in 2020. Episodes are about an hour long each, but it has so much depth to it, and every episode leaves you questioning and wanting more. We focus on individual characteristics of each of the superheroes that we meet, but then we start to see the relationship develop between them and watch them come together as a whole, and it's just absolutely amazing. The most unique relationship that I enjoy out of it was Cliff Steele, seeing him try to develop a new father-daughter bond between him and Jane, and it never fully goes through, and you always want to see more progress happen. You always want to see progress out of these characters, because everybody loves an underdog, but this show, it does it in a much different way. You don't even see superpowers displayed for the entire season, basically, but you see them trying to learn how to control it, how to learn, they're learning how to deal with it. It's not like the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, where he just starts flicking his wrists in different positions and figures out his superpower, and he's just fucking good to go. It's not like that at all. You need that development, and you also need the real, you need, I guess, or inner conflict between the characters. You need to see what's going on in their heads, in their hearts, what is holding them back from achieving their goals. And you just start to relate with them more, and you start to sympathize a lot more with the characters. And the whole time, the basic plot of the first season is that they're trying to get back Dr. Niles Calder after he's been kidnapped by the supervillain, who is also the narrator of the story, known as Mr. Nobody, or I can't even remember his real name. But Mr. Nobody is a character that is not just a super powerful like bad guy that is super strong or anything like that. He is a completely different entity. He is constantly breaking the fourth wall, talking to the audience, and he also exists outside of time and space and is able to manipulate reality. It's like Thanos with all the Infinity Stones, except he's not just snapping and ending everything, he's manipulating everything to his will, all to just get his way and to get his vengeance on Dr. Niles Calder. And the whole show goes off on this, and you'd think it shouldn't take an entire season of 1 hour episodes to go and beat this guy. Well, they never do it anyway, and the show gets sidetracked a lot, but these little side missions are what really leads you to the ending and the climactic moment. And honestly, the show should have ended the second to last episode, but it is what it is. It's still absolutely fantastic. It's a show that I believe anybody could easily love, and I think you all really need to go and watch it. So what makes you want to fall in love with these characters, really? Because that's what it's about. It's about focusing on the characters and their development. I'm sure I've said that over and over again. I don't have a script for this one, so we're just kind of going to roll with it, and I'm going to play you the trailer and some clips from the show during this whole thing. But I know they don't give out Emmys for shows like this, but it's absolutely worthy of it, and I think you all need to go and give this show a try. So I'm going to leave you all with that. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.
I want to go home.
We can do that.